Not going live yet. Oh, we're live.
You are not safe in an elementary school, high school, college movie theater, club, or church. The only thing safe is the Second Amendment. On June 12th, there was a shooting in Orlando, Florida, and not just a shooting, this was a mass massacre of 50 people, and over 50 other people were left injured. Pulse is a nightclub in Orlando, Florida, that's most heavily in a predominantly gay neighborhood, and particularly this night was Latino night. There was a shooter who came in with an assault rifle and came into the main room and shot up the main room. It went on for so long that most people thought that it was a part of the song. They just didn't know what was going on. One person actually got it on her Snapchat, and all you hear is like just constant noise going off, constant booming. The reason that this was possible is because the type of assault weapon that they have, you don't even really need to get, it's not even a difficult process to get cleared for this weapon. But the bullets are really small that you can put them into the gun and it'll just keep going off back to back to back. Like just boom, 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 boom. It's no, like when you're loading the bullets in the clip, that's why he was able to murder so many people, because the bullets were so small. So he shot up the main room back to back to back to back to back. He had several bullets on him, and then he tried to go out the front door, but he was met by 2 officers. And ironically, he made it in the club, even though past the bouncer. You are supposed to be checked by a bouncer. He made it past the bouncer with all these assault weapon rifles on his person. So he shot up the room, shot several people, then he tried to go outside, but he was met by 2 guns. So then he went into the side room, because if any of you have ever been to the club, you know that there's multiple rooms in a club. So then, but sadly and mistakenly in that club, the side room was very small. So the door was too narrow for everybody to get out. So some people had the idea to hide in the bathroom, which is a terrible, outcome for these people. They had the most fatal outcome because they hid in the bathroom. He came in the bathroom with him. He didn't kill them all automatically. He waited with them for maybe about a while, because he was pretty much taking them as hostages at that point. So these people are texting their family members, telling their family members that they're going to die and that they need to get help. And that he was a terrorist. That's how he described themselves. It was so unfortunate for the people hiding in the bathroom stalls, because they never saw his face. So it was like they're trying to reason with him, like, we don't even know what you look like. Can you let us go? And he's just like, no. He's laughing at the people. One of the survivors actually said he can't go to sleep because every time he closes his eyes, all he hears is the guy laughing, the murderer. So basically, after a while, maybe about an hour or two, the gunman proceeded to lift his assault rifle weapon over top of the bathroom stalls, and he just sprayed. He just let it spray on all of these people. One guy who was a survivor actually only let one bullet hit him, and he hit the ground. And the shooter thought that he was dead, but everybody else, pretty much in that bathroom was murdered. The youngest person was like 20 years old. They had just, or no, I think the youngest person was 18. They had just graduated college. One of the other people worked in Universal Studios at the Harry Potter ride. He actually knew J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, and she was mourning his death. Just tons of beautiful people. You hear these stories from their family members and what they meant to them. Um, a lot of the people were queer, and these are all people of color. So that's what starts this debate, and that was the background of what happened. So my name is Erin, by the way, and
Hi, it's Dennis. Um, Please, I'm on. I was trying to see if I ordered Domino's pizza. I didn't order Domino's pizza. But anyways, which really starts. It starts a very interesting debate about whether it is terror or is it a hate crime, and most importantly, should go more importantly about gun control. And I say, as always, I think a lot of conservatives are trying to pinpoint terror because a lot of conservatives support gun control, support the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. But however, you can't just really pin. Yes, there is terror. And yes, even the guy Omar Matin, I'm not sure if his last name right. He even he pledges his allegiance to ISIS, that doesn't separate the fact that this is necessarily a hate crime. Like this person literally killed, he murdered like 50 people and injured over 50 people, at a nightclub. You targeted, and that nightclub, usually a gay nightclub, is a place where a lot of people, a lot of young gay men and young lesbians, bisexuals, transgender people who could come in and feel like home and feel in the place. Usually a gay club or like a gay outing is usually a place for people to come together and feel and be who they are. And most important, this is like a LG, like this is like this month is all about gay LG, I'm sure I'm saying it right, like it's all about the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender pride. So for to him, it was all plotted because it's a hate crime. It's not about terror, because if it was about terror, if it was a terrorism attack, I'm not to say this, but he would have killed, like, let's say he would have went to like a Walmart or something, or went somewhere else more in public to kill like a group of people, rather than he's focusing on a specific group of people. So now it's not even though he pledged allegiance to ISIS, because he focused on a particular group of people, necessarily a minority group of people. It is a hate crime. It's not terrorism, and conservative politicians need to stop focusing on terrorism. It's not terror. Don't avoid it. We need stricter gun control laws. There's no reason why an AR weapon, which is AR-15 weapon, which is also known as an M16, right? A military base, right? Automatically assault rifle, is at a hand is being sold is sold in the U.S. The federal government can't even keep track in how many times it's being sold. Why is this weapon being sold? Even though it was banned, so they say. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
More of these weapons were purchased after they lifted the assault rifle ban in 2004. I don't know if that was under the leadership of George Bush. I have to check. How they were able to get that passed, but basically millions and millions of people have these type of assault rifles in their homes. They say they love the way that it shoots and how many bullets go off. But the sad part about this bullet that makes this situation even more morbid, most bullets, it'll go through your body and exit out, or go through your body and get stuck. This one is a different type of bullet. It literally pierces your skin, and then it starts to twist. Therefore, the bullet may enter one place, it'll exit another place, therefore damaging more internal organs and more internal systems. And it's just so crazy. You know what I mean? That Republicans and Democrats that both support the Second Amendment, that is true. You should be able to bear arms, but at what point do we say there's a limit as to what type of weapons that we can purchase, or what are the background checks, or you know what I mean? What just different things that come into play, play, or that we characterize what type of people are getting these guns and the access that they have to these weapons. On the House floor on June 14th, 2016, Speaker of the House Paul Ryan, wanted to have a moment of silence, and he got upset when the Democrats started saying enough silence, no more silence, where's the bill? Because it's like, we shouldn't have to keep having a moment of silence every single, month, when we can do something to save lives. We can change legislation that saves lives. So, it was a lot of Republicans and probably Democrats too speaking out, saying, why would you ever speak during a moment of silence? Because they're frustrated. Enough is enough. That's one of the hashtags. Enough, like enough silence.
Enough isn't like, okay, yes, America has a terrorism problem, and America always had a gun control problem. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that's like it's either or. It's this and it's this. It's this and that.
Yeah.
So own up. Like, America needs to own up to the fact, that yes, we need to we need stronger gun control laws, you know, because and the same weapons was used in Newtown, Connecticut, where the young gentleman killed many elementary kids, right? It was used in a movie theater in Colorado, right? It's used, that weapon particularly is used to is used for massacres. It's used to assassinate many people. You know,
Right.
that weapon is associated with hate. You know, and the trail behind the massacres across the U.S. and throughout the decade, it shows that that particular gun
It's a
is
weapon of
used
choice.
for that particular purpose during a mass shooting. So, and the fact that, you know, the NRA and as well as others are trying to defend, you know, this weapon. No, stop defending the weapon, because enough is enough. Like, do you like so? The things about America has a choice. Do you care about the weapon, or do you care about your civilians? Because it could happen to anyone. Anybody could have a hate crime. Anybody could hate anything. You know, anybody could hate anything. It could be one mental ill person, or any, like, who could just be like, you know what? I don't like white people. I'm gonna shoot white people, and he'll just go into a rich neighborhood and blow everything up. You know, not to say anything crazy out of whack, and I wish that never happened. But we need people. What needs to happen is that people need to realize, like, we need to come together and really focus on the main issue here. One point Trevor brought up, he's the guy at Community Central. You know, he said that it's important to, you know, when 9/11, after 9/11, that happened that happened in 2001, right? America came together strict, it was harder for people to, like, to fly, where you had to come 2 hours before, you know, just to get checked in. Now when you checked in, you gotta stand up and do a full body X-ray, just to get cleared. You know, we tighten up the security after 9/11. Why can't we tighten up? And it helped us. It helped limit terror in the U.S. But why is it so hard to tighten up gun control? Gun control. Why is it so hard to increase background checks? Anybody who's abusive, anybody with any type of, you know, um, disorder or anything, the same way when you go through, like, the NYPD. I'm from New York. Anyways, anyway, you go through the police department, you go through a series of background checks. Anytime you apply for the federal government, you get accepted into the agency, you go to a series of background checks. There needs to be an intensive background check for people who wants to own guns. And that's all right. And that's literally what the civilians of America are asking. Just something more strict, something that could help us make sure that we are safe as civilians, because it is very sad that any minority group or any people in the U.S. will have to suffer like this.
And I like that you bring up the civilians, because I think that the civilians play a very important role when it comes to understanding what gun control means and what they can do to support and actually come together. I think that this generation feels like, not all of it, but a lot of the generation feel like they are so detached from the means to an end. And when I say that, they don't know how to move legislation and what their voice means as far as policy goes. Policy is driven by its constituents. Policy is driven by the people. A lot of people in this generation feel as if, only way to show their solidarity with the people who have passed is to put up a picture on Instagram, saying, pray for this person, or I acknowledge the fact that this happened. Do not just acknowledge the fact that something happens when you can change lives. People only want to change things after it affects their own personal community, one of their family members, or their school. If a shooting happened in the school that you attend or your workplace, you would want to do something about that. It shouldn't be when the children were murdered in Sandy Hook, people should have been more, knowledgeable of gun control and what that means and how to push legislation for that. The NRA, the National Rifle Association, is one of the most powerful organizations that we have in America. It's just so hard to break. I don't know if you got to see Barack Obama's gun control special that he had. He's almost headed out, unfortunately, but definitely gun control is something he always wanted to tackle, but it's such a difficult thing. And when we lost the House and parts of the Senate, it made it even more frustrating and even more difficult for us to tackle the NRA and tackle on, pushing legislation for gun control. So basically, we have to mobilize in this generation, in the millennial generation, and understand how to move policy and move legislation and support initiatives in our local communities that will enforce more strict gun control. Because you won't be happy until one of your family members, sorry for my harshness, gets shot up. And then you'll want to know, oh, why is this happening? Oh, because no one ever did anything about these assault rifles. Or no one ever pushed for stricter background checks.
Yeah.
You gotta wait. I think I was looking on TV today that it takes no time to get some of these weapons. You know what I mean? It's literally nothing. You might have to wait a week for your ID to come, but you don't have to wait any time to get an assault rifle to murder people. I don't even think they should be using these as practice for animals.
You know what? And that also brings a good point. If the same way, if you could get in serious trouble by hitting a deer with your car, you should get in trouble for killing an animal with a rifle. That is not, that's not for fun. It's hunting. Hunting for what? If you're still going to go to your local grocery store, your local supermarket, there's no reason why you should be hunting for animals.
But it's so interesting because I feel like people like that, and not to judge those people who do like to hunt, and people who are like avid gun users. I realize I have some family members who are avid gun users and I didn't know, but I realize those people outnumber the rest of us because Donald Trump is obviously the Republican candidate. I feel like I have a new perspective on what America looks like. I thought because I lived in the inner city, I had a really good perspective of what America looks like, but I'm only thinking about the people in California. I'm thinking about the people in New York. I'm thinking about some of the people in Orlando, major cities, or Houston. But I feel like the rest of the nation is a very avid gun control nation. I feel like the rest of the nation is against Muslims. A lot of the nation are against Latinos. And therefore, in my eyes, if you're against all those people, you got to be against blacks and Caribbeans too. Because I just feel like once you alienate those type of people, and now that Donald Trump is presidential nominee for the Republican Party, I think that we have a new face. This is the face of the nation. We were blindsided because we thought that we lived in a progressive nation. The people who work in the Google headquarters or the people who work in the Facebook studios, all these progressive thinkers who were supporting of the LGBT community and people who support gender equality, people who support ethnic diversity, but actually we do not. This is a nation filled with people who filled with hate and discriminatory thoughts.
Hate and fear. And going back to Donald Trump, it's just Donald Trump said something very interesting in CNN, right? And it really kills me. Like, how can people people who support him, who are only listening to either snippets of a phrase that he says he's going to make America great again. But if you really watch his debates, if you really watch his when he hosts rallies, when he hosts events, and he goes on CNN and he speaks to notable politicians, like he's so vague. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, I had to literally quote him where he said that he said to CNN that, hold on, it's just, I was just so in shock that he said that, and I'm like, what is going on with this guy? Hold on, what did he say? Oh my goodness, what did I don't know where I put it, but basically, oh my goodness, hold on, I need to find this because I quoted, and I have notes. I have a lot of notes here, stuff I want to say to you guys, but I'm really trying to find it right now. Oh, he said that we have an incompetent administration. And let me tell you, if I am elected president, that will not change in the next 4 years. He just told you the truth of his ignorance. Like, are you serious right now? And it's just like, and many things that he say is like, what are you talking about? But then again, I understand that people, I understand, me, I study sociology during undergrad, and based on who people interact with, base their relationships of their judgment, So necessarily, if you haven't hung out with a Hispanic, Latino, or you haven't hung out with a Black person, if you haven't hung out with anybody of different races or different religion, you don't understand their struggles, you don't understand their culture, you don't understand nothing. So that way, the way you judge something is prelax on how you think because of limited experiences, right? So America, I understand the most diverse, where geographically where the U.S. is mostly diverse is in Cali, New York, Florida, PA, but if you're looking at a section of a majority of the U.S., a lot of people don't live in diverse communities. And most importantly, a lot of people, that is not in New York, that is not in Cali, that's not in Florida, or where a large sum of income where people are making a lot of money, many people work minimum wage jobs. Like I think in Montana, like their minimum wage, don't quote me on this, I may be wrong, it's literally like $7.75 or $7.50 minimum wage. And New York is $9.25, but in DC it's like what, $12 now? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, that don't live in major cities, their minimum wage is a lot lower. So that goes to show that their economically, their city is slower. Like everything is a lot slower there. Everything's not as fast paced. Everything, that there's not as many jobs in that area. So it's just like, I understand that he wants, when they say Donald Trump is saying he wants to make America great again, people want money. People want to feel like they could survive in what they're living in, Like, there's so many changes going in New York, there's so many changes going to Florida, so many changes going to LA, there's so many changes going to Texas, and some changes are going in PA. No changes going to Chicago. I still pray for Chicago, but every part of the world. In Colorado, because weed is legal in Colorado, so everyone's moving out there. So even weed, the fact that we became legal in Colorado and people could sell and produce their own product, their economy is growing. You know what I'm saying? So everyone of their economy's wealth, then people are just like, well, I work 9 to 5, working a little bit of change, how, if Donald Trump's saying I'm gonna make America great again, they're believing him. They're not watching the news and what he's really saying. And most importantly, many people who are voting for him are not as educated. So not that they lack education. 2, they're most probably struggling. Not to say like not everyone's struggling, but majority of people are probably struggling on economic stability. So the quote, I'll make America great again, is a hopeful term, but it's a most dangerous term, and a term that can't, because it's so vague that he can't even provide details of how he can make that happen, So I just hope that people could really see the true meaning about what he really wants and what he really stands for, because what I'm afraid of is like we took so many steps forward, the civil rights movement, civil rights movement, the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community. We push forward to that, and to take how many steps back, you know what I'm saying? And what kills me is that some people are saying like, oh, they should protect themselves. How? Because they're gay? It's a choice. It is a choice. It is a choice to be gay. It's a choice to be lesbian. It's a choice to be transgender. You choose that. You live. Oh, if you hear my brother, he just got in the house. Don't mind him. And his friends. Don't mind him. But it is a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people relate race to the LGBT community, right? They were
actually LGBTQA at this.
What?
That's a cute. What say again?
It's LGBTQA.
Oh,
So that's
it's
that's
LGBTQA.
yes.
Oh, sorry guys.
No, it's totally fine. Well, definitely we will label you all, not label, but
We will label every one of you guys because we love you and we support you, and we're literally talking about this because this is a very important issue, and I really want change. And this is our video to you guys to kind of voice and help people understand and realize. In the following videos, we will get very more concrete with things because in what we studied and how can we help people, because the thing of also another problem is that like people are just like oh, we need to fix this, we need to fix this, we need to fix this, but people are not providing some concrete evidence-based research, or they're not providing some real live situation in order to how to help the situation. And I want us to kind of be so you could be eyes and ears and listen to us and see what we're trying to say, to kind of transcend that and pass it forward to other people, So go ahead, Erin. I think
that people in this generation need to mobilize. I think we need to play towards people who know how to plan and reach Congress, like reaching out to your friends who are political science majors or sociology majors, and people who have done influential research. You need to go to your local church. Let's use this as a way to mobilize and educate. We need to stand more towards gender neutral bathrooms, supporting that love implemented all over. They're making it so that even though gay marriage is legal, they're going to make it harder for them to obtain marriage licenses. So we just need to get on the ground and support the LGBT community in all aspects. Just make a post that and leave out here with nothing. We need to change the hearts of Christians who feel that just because this is in the Bible that we have people so cold. They're literally Christians on Twitter saying that they're glad that this happened and this is what these people deserve. These are Christians, people who preach the words of the Bible, but they still are supporting of a hate crime.
Yes, if you preach the Bible and you are very religious and you're saying that is good for them, you are absolutely part of a hate crime. Absolutely. There's no way around it. And you could argue you could point to verse. You could do everything. You could preach to me and preach to everyone how Jesus and God said this and that. But when you say good for them, or you support what happened, you are part of a hate crime. And that is literally the bottom line. Like, this is, like, this, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about America right now, because the fact that, especially in New York, especially that.
We shouldn't be condemning a lot of people either, because, like you said earlier, there may not be any type of affiliation ISIS because different jihadist groups, the Sunnis and the Shiites. If you ever went to history class, you know they hate each other. So he's saying he's with the Bloods and the Crips at this point. Like,
pretty much. Okay, if you want to break it down to that, he's talking about the Bloods and the Crips working together.
And the Shiites.
Yes, like that. No, they don't work together. They don't work together on a regular basis. Like, no. That is, they're literally fighting for wealth and resources. No, Donald Trump is just a character in himself. I just really hope that, but I don't want
his own political legislation and like his own agenda.
He's too much. But my thing is, we need stricter gun control law. I want to make a point. It is not terrorism. It is a hate crime. What we need that America has a terror problem and we have a gun control problem. Yes, two separate things. Apples and oranges.
But hate crime is real. And this is an apparent issue. This is homegrown within America.
And what's even more crazy, you can't even pin it to a terrorism because in LA there's this guy. He was on his way, truck loaded with guns, about to lit fire, light up, like kill majority of people at the gay parade, at the at the pride parade. So it was just like, and he wasn't associated with terrorism. It's literally a hate crime. Just because he say I'm part of ISIS or I'm part of, he's pledged allegiance to his, his culture. And yeah, like, no, it's a hate crime.
And it's sad
Because if it was terror, it would be anybody. But it is a hate crime because you chose a specific group of people to attack.
His wife said that when they asked him, was your ex-husband gay? And she said she didn't know. That man had been seen at the gay club on several occasions. This is not his first time at Pulse nightclub. But other people who have been there said they saw him several times. So that poses the next question. Was he, secretly expressing this lifestyle? That's why he felt
honestly, I don't think he was. Only because when you try to plot on somebody,
because
you tried exactly. He probably was in that club because he needed to know the interest, the exit. He needed to know the bouncer.
No, but he also a member of some gay app. There's some app called like Ottoman or something.
He was probably lurking. He was lurking to get information. I think he was type of person. Let's say if I'm trying to literally like let's say if I'm trying to like attack some, like let's say if I want to find somebody, you know what I'm saying? I would literally, let's say if I have them on Facebook, I would stalk them on Facebook, stalk them on Instagram, and some people go beyond measure, like create a whole new Instagram, create a whole new Facebook, just to find out what this person is doing, where this person is going, because our privacy is very, very very limited now because with the increase of our technology. So, like, I don't think he was necessarily gay. I just think that everything that he was doing, it was literally, he was plotting. And Pulse is a very known, is a very known club where people of, when the LGBTQA community, come together and support and show love and enjoy a night where they can be free and express themselves and really enjoy a good night out, So yeah, I don't think this
is where I guess you have to agree to disagree and then wait until further notice. But definitely, I think both being valid, and we can attest to both. So
my question is, how he got into that club with the assault rifle? Like, how did he get into the club with that rifle?
Right. What bouncer?
Like, what bouncer run the tapes? Did he come to the back door? Like, these details. I mean, they're probably gonna be classified information, which is gonna be hard for the user.
It's amazing to know he waited in a place where you were checked. I know several of you have been to the club before. Down, like looking at your purse. I'm a female, so I know we do the guys, but we definitely get our purse checked. We definitely get patted down. Weapons.
We get patted. We don't even get patted down. We get a little touched up, like whoop whoop. We get touched up and everything. So like, come on now. But then again, I think I do know some lounges. I mean, it says a club, so I know some lounges. They're probably like, check your ID, you just go in, or they check your ID. But this was a legit club, So I know they had to at least check like body parts to make sure he was okay. So he he must have put at the back door and opened the back door and brought it in or something like that. Because it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm really trying to figure out, and to everyone who is saying that they shouldn't be gay, or why would they parents let them be gay, that's why they need to protect themselves and they need to go back to the closet. This is how I feel right now. Take it, eat it, everything, forget y'all, because this is America. You should be right to express yourself. If you want to dress like a boy, dress like a boy. If you want to dress like a girl, dress like a girl. If you want to love who you love, it is okay. It is perfectly okay. They're not bothering you. They built their own community. You know what I'm saying? They built a great foundation to support each support each other and themselves. They're not trying to come into nobody's neighborhood. They're not trying to attack anybody. They just want to feel accepted. Just accept them for who they are, you know? And it's okay. And mind you, in other countries, there's 4 genders. Of course, there will only be 2 sexes. There's at least 4 or more genders in many parts of the world. Meaning that there are guys who wear dresses, but they're still as masculine as ever. You know? And it's okay. And what we call it, because of course, we have to, in America, we have to symbolize things with meaning, you know, so they, you know, cross-dressing, you know, and as if it's a bad thing. No, you know, the Irish wear skirts, but we don't judge them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let them be who they are.
And no one should be targeted based on age, race, religion, sex, gender, any category, any lifestyle choices. The children who were shot in Sandy Hook by the same type of
Absolutely, that's what it's
did
called.
not deserve to die. These, you know, queer individuals did not deserve to die. No one deserves to die. No one deserves to be murdered.
Who knows? We probably lost the best doctor because of his sexual orientation. We probably lost the next greatest lawyer to create better change for our community. You know, we lost. We never know how many good people we have lost because to senseless violence just because of sexual orientation. And our life shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that at all.
Nope.
But it's just. Is there anything else you want to point out, Erin?
Not as of yet. I want to encourage people to mobilize, write to Congress, congrommen, support your local initiatives, start an initiative, raise up with the community to combat homophobia, to combat hate crime, and to combat issues that will stand against gun control. What the Second Amendment stands for. Right? You can be an American citizen, you can support the Second Amendment, but there has to be stricter gun control policies in America.
Yes, and I want us to really, if you have a lot of time this summer, if you have a lot of time on your hands this summer, or if you don't have a job, look, it costs less than 99 cents to make a flyer, you know, and to share, to build a community. And you never know, you could be a grassroots of something so much greater. You don't know that you can make change, you know? So and even if you are walking around and people are turning you down, at least it's the first step of progression. It's the first step of socialism. It's the first step to bring an awareness of a very large problem and see how far it takes you. And then the people you will meet, the people you could connect with, the people you could network with. And then you could probably find a great job. You could probably meet many people, you know, and how much opportunities it could bring for you, and how much opportunities it could bring for this nation, and more of a peaceful community we will live in. You know, we want peace. You know, I'm tired of having to walk down the street to know what's going to happen next. You know, it's fearful. You don't want to live in fear your whole life. We weren't born to live in fear. We were born to live and express ourselves and use our brain that God has given us, that created where people created and invented so many great things, where we could think beyond than our own means. You know? That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to live in fear.
But thank you for that. Signing out.